During that time, there are also friends, Christian Union friends
Alright,
who are trying to woo me to be a Christian. So I would go with them to pray, yet I'm not born again. So I would pray, just repeating words over and over. But I used to love God anyway. So while at Isley, I saw many friends I used to play basketball with. I used to live side by side with. I saw them wasted by drugs. I saw them experimenting. That's why how I came to know about cocaine. I came to know about all those, ban, what. And let me not get into details about there's so many drugs.
Okay.
Because I saw it firsthand. Back then in 1995 or 1994, the guys used to inject themselves with syringes to get the drug working quickly. So one of them, I saw him die in an alley, in a secluded place in the backside of a street. It was devastating to his family because they were of that family. They died like 4 young men, one family. I started asking myself questions. Is my life worth living? Is it even good to be alive? So I became bitter with people. I became bitter with myself. Yet I still recognize and acknowledge God somehow in my heart. It is the start of a pattern that I saw in my life, that I had what we call in English jinxes. This is what we call in Kiswahili vikisirani, nuksi. So I needed to pass nomination. So I didn't have an opposition. I didn't have a contestant opposition. So I called the gentlemen to give me their IDs, and they all disappeared. Wow. And the way I used to buy tea for them, I used to buy tea, money, bread, not money necessarily, but I used to buy food, like lunch, tea.
You used to treat them.
I used to treat them. So they are there. I need their IDs. I need their voting cards, copies, so I can take to IEBC. So now I'm there, and I'm left all on my own. They have all deserted me. I don't know what to do, because I thought these guys had all along been standing with me. So most of them, their votes are for back countries, for the countryside. Their votes are for the countryside. Some, when they heard I was looking for them, they never came to that place, to that hotel, for like 3-4 days. They disappeared.
Hallelujah. Praise King Jesus. My viewers, and how have you been since our last episode? I trust that the Lord has kept you as He has done unto me. My name is Linet Maina, and I welcome you here officially at The Turning Point. This is a program where we reveal Christ and His good works in our lives, giving you testimonies that indeed Christ is no longer in the tomb. He is alive. Today we are joined by a soldier in the kingdom of God. We are joined by a servant of God who is going to share his story, his calling story, and we believe that this story is going to encourage you. This story, most importantly, it will be your turning point. And before he introduces himself, I'd like you to visit our social media platforms on Facebook, on YouTube, that is Gaspar Aswen Ministries, and on TikTok as Christ Tabernacle Church. Welcome to this episode. Karibu sana.
Asante.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
I'd like you to introduce yourself to our viewers.
My name's Stephen Gerald Kariuki. I'm born again, serving here. at Gasparswell Ministries. We thank God.
I'd like you to tell us who was Brother Karaoke before calling.
Amen. Let me say, I was born at Eastleigh, at a certain hospital around Pumwani. I think it's synonymous with the same name probably.
Yes.
And then, so I was bred there. Let me say, along the way, I grew up as any other young boy.
Mm-hmm.
And we were in a mixed background of communities. The plot we used to live at, we had different communities, and it was quite a background for me to come up from such a place.
Mm-hmm.
And to be bred in such a place. So Eastleigh used to be very beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It had playgrounds for children, and let me say, from there I learned basketball. I learned many other games. So growing in Eastleigh also exposed me to different cultural backgrounds that I came to learn about different communities. So it is also that time that I came to learn about different types of drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And the friends that I had, mostly from, if I can say, Somali community,
Mm-hmm.
and Luo and Baluya. Let me say, I learned from them their different type of living norms and daily lives, but more so about that background. I saw many people or young people get introduced to drugs, and they got wasted.
Mm-hmm.
So I also tried to experiment with such things at that time.
Mm-hmm.
During that time, it was it was a bit challenging for my parents.
How old were you at that point?
At that point, I was just early on in life. Let me say 10, 12.
All right.
During those times.
Mm-hmm.
And I also, it is during that time that I was awakening to the fact, or to the reality, that there were some sinister things that were in my life.
Mm-hmm.
At one time, I was at a shop, at a friend's shop. Let me say, I was around 14 years. I was standing at a friend's shop, and we were just talking like youth.
Mm-hmm.
So the young man is on the other side selling inside the shop. I'm on the outside. Then a man we knew, a youth guy, he was a youth. We knew that he was a robber.
Mm-hmm.
Let me call him a robber.
Mm-hmm.
So he found us talking, and we are there talking about football.
Mm-hmm.
I used to support Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
So my friend used to support Manchester United. So he's there arguing his case. I'm here, I'm arguing my case.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling him how we'll beat them, So this man came. I'll not call him a gentleman because he was a robber.
Mm-hmm.
He used to be called Chui.
Mm-hmm. Like Chewy.
Yeah, Chui.
Okay. Uh-huh.
It was a nickname.
All right.
So I can't tell you his right name.
It's okay.
So we are there talking.
Mm-hmm.
So he came and told me, my friend, I know you're the guy who has been setting me up and who called me names, who insulted me a time earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And today I found you.
Mm-hmm.
So he whipped me thoroughly,
Mm-hmm.
truly roughed me up. Well, by the grace of God, let's just say the police were passing by, and I think he ran away. So he ran away. So I'm left there with my friend. I've been roughed up,
Mm-hmm.
and there's nothing I can do because the police have passed by
Mhm.
and, you know, the kind of interaction.
Mhm.
By then, I can say that there was so much corruption.
Mhm.
So I forgave him and let it go.
Mhm.
So it is the start of a pattern
Mhm.
that I saw in my life,
Mhm.
that I had what we call in English jinxes.
Mhm.
This is what we call in Kiswahili vikisirani,
Mhm.
nuksi
Ah.
na mikosi. Actually, I don't know what other name you can say,
Yeah.
but I noticed that these are patterns that were in my life,
Mm.
and I started reconciling myself. Not from there.
Mm.
Afterwards, another incident happened.
Mm.
So along the way, remember that I'm talking about some youth who are taking drugs.
Mm.
And here also my life, I was calling myself to a conference.
Mm.
There's something in my life that is not right.
Mm.
So by then, there was nobody who was born again in our church,
Mm.
in our family, sorry.
Mm.
And at the same time, my mom was a staunch Catholic, and she still is.
Mhm.
So I was baptized at the oldest church in Italy, that is St. Teresa's.
Mhm.
And we used to be like, I used to have a nephew we were the same age.
Mm.
Actually, we were just 1 month apart.
Mm.
So I'll come back to him,
Mhm.
about him.
All right.
So fast forward, we came, we grew, and I saw my friends being wasted.
Mm.
There's also a neighbor who used to call me Mwanaharamu.
Mhm. Why would they call you that?
I think he just hated people who have a different background than him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of another race.
So he used to call me Mwanaharamu,
Mhm.
or thereabout such names.
Mm.
Well, let me say, early on, I continued being educated at Isli.
Mhm.
Then I moved to Kayole,
Mhm.
where I entered class 4
Mhm.
at, if I can name it, the Abu Primary School.
Okay.
So I grew up. It was well.
Mm.
At first, it was, life wasn't. It wasn't easy,
Mm.
but at the same time, it wasn't evil.
Mhm.
So
It was a bit balanced.
I'll explain to you what I mean by
All
evil.
right. All right.
So, well, come to the background. I would commute from Isli
Mm.
to Kayole
Mm.
during those early days. Before my parents eventually bought a home at Kayole, and we moved in.
Mm.
So while at Isli, I saw many friends I used to play basketball with. I used to live side by side with. I saw them wasted by drugs.
Mhm.
I saw them experimenting. That's why how I came to know about cocaine.
Mm.
I came to know about all those, ban, what, and let me not get into details about there's so many drugs.
Okay.
Because I saw it firsthand. Back then in 1995 or 1994, the guys used to inject themselves with syringes to get the drug working quickly. So one of them, I saw him die in an alley, in a secluded place in the backside of a street. So there used to be back streets initially, like between buildings. So that's where he died. Then during that time,
You saw him die?
No, not that I saw him die, but I found him dead.
Okay.
And he was a young guy full of life, but let me say it was devastating to his family because they were of that family. They died like 4 young men, one family.
That is sad.
One family. They died 4 young men out of drugs. During that time, it was also a hippies time. Isli was known for manyangas. You know,
What is manyanga?
beautiful matatus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was the name back then of matatus.
Yeah.
All right.
So there used to be top matatus which are decorated. In fact, it's lit
with graffiti and all that.
Yeah, it wasn't so much, but the music. Yeah, the funky music, you know, and we would dance to it. That was the top thing. Singing about Tupac and such things, you know. Well, fast forward. Afterwards, I came to Kayole, but still, while I hadn't moved completely to Kayole because I had friends in Isli. So here I am one time, I'm boarding a matatu to go to Isli. And then in the matatu that I'm sitting in, I'm facing on the side of Kenya National Archives. You see where it is? We are coming to enter Luduli Junction. So the matatu stops there to pick some passengers. So while I'm there, I'm looking at the side of Kenya National Archives, on the other side of Tomboya. So there are 2 police officers. They are looking at me, I'm looking at them. I saw one running towards me. The other like he pretended he was like going backwards.
Like diverting.
Going towards Nazareth. I think Nazarene University.
Yeah, that's right.
But he actually came the other side to make sure that I don't run away. So he came. The first one boarded the matatu. He told me to stand up. The other one on the ground, he cocked his gun.
Don't move.
They have not moved. They have not talked to me. I have not done anything. So I'm there in the matatu. We were like 5 passengers. So we were like 5 passengers. There, the police officer told me to stand. So I stood. He told me to lift up my hands. I lift. He told me what I was hiding. He asked me what I was hiding. I showed him with my eyes, there's nothing I'm carrying. So he came, he searched me, he found nothing. The other one told him, mtoe huku nje, get him out. We deal with him. So I'm asking, what have I done? He's telling, utajua.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever find yourself before in that situation with the police or something illegal you had done?
No. There's nothing illegal I've done. I remember I'm just around 15 years by then.
Okay.
I'm still in primary school.
A teenager.
I was a teen.
Yeah.
So I'm still in primary school in Kayole. So there, okay, the one who was I was with, the police officer standing before me told me, okay, Tulia, ni mistaken identity. So he got out, they went away. The passengers were asking me, what have you done?
Yeah.
Okay. So remember what I told you, jinxes, hexes, yani kisirani, mikosi na nuksi.
Yeah.
Those things are real. And I noticed them in my life early on. Another time, I was commuting in those old buses, if I can name them.
You can.
So I'm there in a stagecoach bus. Yeah? They used to fill, to the brim, till the passengers would stand and they would squeeze.
Yeah, I think they still do that nowadays.
Nowadays is not much like then.
Okay.
Back then it was a must.
Too much.
It was too much.
All right.
Even in between the seats. Like
no.
yeah,
That's
like
too
me
much.
and you, we are sitting close together. There's somebody standing in
Oh
between.
no.
Yeah. So they used to charge less for the ones who are standing, and for the ones who are seated.
Because you are uncomfortable.
Exactly. For the ones who are seated, it's a bit. It was a bit cheaper. So we are there. I'm standing. I'm seated on the back side, on the back seat, the backmost seat of the stagecoach bus. Then there is a back door and a front door.
A back door of a bus?
Yeah, there's
Never
a rear
seen
door.
that. Okay.
Yeah, there's a rear door and there's a front door.
All right.
So it had two doors, front one and the rear. So I want to alight because I've arrived at Kayole, Soweto. And in front of me, there's usually a bar where you have to hold for you to stand and, get out.
And the light, okay.
And a light. So I'm there, I want to get out. I've stood. I've held the bar. So there's a man who is leaning on the metal, that metal pole. So I'm going to hold this metal bar and I've held it. Then I want to come out and alight. So the man looks at me. He turns me. Unataka kuniibia?
Look like a suspect.
Yeah, kijana unataka kuniibia.
Okay.
The way I was dressing, I used to wear baggy trousers and baggy shirts.
Which year? Which was it?
Around 96.
I think that was the fashion back then.
It was the fashion back then. Big things, puff jackets. Those were
with graffiti. Those were
sometimes, most of the time,
You can picture that.
Yeah, we would put stickers all over the trousers.
Okay.
We also had torn trousers. Like today.
What do they call ragged jeans.
Ragged jeans.
Yeah.
We used to have ragged trousers.
Okay.
So I want to alight. And the man has asked me, you want to steal from me? I didn't know they were police officers. So here I am. The man tells me, today you will know that you can't steal from everybody. So there are three police officers. This one gets me by my shirt. He alights with me. The other two, they're there talking on the walkie-talkie. By then, there were no mobile phones. And TV was, the big tube backside. So I'm there. I am alighting. He alights with me. He takes me by the shirt. He handcuffs me. So it's my first time to experience handcuffs.
Yeah. What was running in your mind?
I've done nothing. Yeah, I'm innocent. According to me, I did it out of my innocence.
And that was the second time comparing to when you were in...
Now this is the second time I'm facing the police.
Yeah.
Remember, somebody has beaten me out of nothing.
Yes.
So these are just a series of events and patterns and cycles of things happening in my life. Remember, the first one is mistaken identity.
Yes.
This second one also is a mistaken identity.
Yeah.
So I'm there. I'm in the lights. They have caught me. We crossed the road, and then we are going towards Soweto. So Soweto was known for criminals and cartels, people who used to extortion people.
All right.
So we have crossed there. They're asking me what I do, where I'm from, So I innocently answered them well. And the guy slapped me and he opened the chains and told me, don't steal again. So you can see there's nothing I've done. I've been slapped for nothing.
You're innocent.
I'm innocent.
Yeah.
And the guy has left, the policeman has left me to go. So they were plain clothes policemen. Now, along the way, now I'm in Kayole, but not fully. Still, I'm going to Isli to see my friends because that's where I had grown initially. So I found most of my friends. Now I had like 4 or 5 guys who had died out of drugs, and who
were you using drugs?
No, I was experimenting. I was, they would. I would try to experiment here or there, just.
But not consistently using drugs.
Not really.
Okay.
It's the kind of like you are seated with a friend and he tells you, hii kitu inanipeleka high, inanipeleka majuu. I want to experience that high. Okay. So I test it. It's I would feel like this is not my thing. Yeah. Early on, I just knew this is not my thing, and I also remembered that inside me, my mom and my dad had instilled a lot of discipline in me. So it also was a point that I used to consider. I also had have brothers and sisters who always were admonishing me. So then I continued with my education. I finished in 1996. I did my KCPE in 1996. Okay. Then I went to Nyeri. During that time, I had so much hardships. I passed through a lot of rough life, if I may say. Lack of school fees, hardships of every, life's hardships. So on and off, but let me say God was faithful. I was never, I never stayed long without going back to school. So then we had, that time the school went through a lot of strikes. The school went through a lot of strikes. We had, it was known for strikes.
Were you involved in the strikes?
No, not at all. Okay. So during that time, there are also friends, Christian Union friends, who are trying to woo me to be a Christian. So I would go with them to pray, yet I'm not born again. So I would pray, just repeating words over and over. But I used to love God anyway. Yeah, so I used to love God still. And I will recognize Him on and off in my life. So fast forward 2000, I finished high school, and I got into the job market. So my parents didn't have finances at first to take me to college. After a year or two, I went to college. I did certificates and diploma here and there. After high school, after college, I got into the business of selling shoes and clothes, mitumba clothes. We would take them from Gikomba and come and sell at Kayole. So Kayole now I'm established. I've forgotten about Isli. So I'm now fully in Kayole. So Kayole, I tried to do acting.
Acting?
Yeah.
Wow.
That
is theater?
Yeah. Actually, at one time we were at Kenya National Theatre. Wow. Doing some, with an organization called Nae, now it's dead. So we are there, we are acting, we are doing rapping. Rapping was just, hip hop was just getting into the scene. Back then, yeah, back then. And I'm trying all I can to see that I make it in life. So as every other youth, everybody thinks, all youth think I'll get out of high school, I'll get out of college and get rich just then. Mimi mjanja. My friend.
Kuna kupitia the hard way.
Hey.
Yeah.
I passed through fire. Yeah, I passed through fire. So I saw things at Kenya National Theatre were not working. I tried, we got into other youth groups. We tried to do different other things like selling, collecting garbage in the estates.
Wow.
In Kayole.
So ulijituma sana?
Sana.
Okay.
I did. Yeah, I collected garbage in Kayole. It was not working. All right. So we tried to sell, I went back into selling clothes, tumba clothes. It still wasn't working. So life was stubborn on my side. So I tried all sorts of businesses and nothing was going through. So along the way, I started asking myself questions. Is my life worth living? Is it even good to be alive? So I became bitter with people. I became bitter with myself. Yet I still recognize and acknowledge God somehow in my heart. And then there came one time. So now I have a girlfriend. We have a kid. And I contested for a councillor's seat.
Politics.
Yeah. So I entered into politics. I entered into politics that year, 2007, from January. I campaigned for myself. I campaigned with people, MPs who have died for Embakasi.
Right.
Yeah. I campaigned with a former mayor.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I can give a hint. He became he came from Nairobi, he went to Kiambu, he became a governor.
Wow.
So I let me say, I did a lot of politics back then. And
before you continue, what inspired you to join politics?
Just what I saw in the society.
Okay.
What I saw in the society, I saw corruption. I saw, like, as a councillor, I could help my community to rise. I could help the youth easily to do simple things like organize theaters, organize plays, organize, acting. It inspired me to just bring my community to another level. So according to me, I thought it was easy, but then going into politics wasn't a good idea. So later on, I realized when I went to a certain church and they told me, sasa mheshimiwa, utahakikisha umetuachia mabati kadhaa, and I'm standing there at the front, at the pulpit. Utatuachia mabati kadhaa, na ujue watu watakupigia kura. So I didn't have much money. So I left.
But you had to, because alikwambia kwa hapo mbele.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had to because he's brought me up. I'm at the front.
That is important.
And he set me up.
Yeah.
And there's nothing I can do except agree to his demand.
Yeah.
So I gave what I had, very little, about 500 shillings. Then there's also a group of men where I used to go to a hotel, and they would promise me they were going to vote for me. They would stand with me. So come the time of nomination, I needed to pass nomination. I was vying on a party, let me not name it. So I needed to pass nomination. So I didn't have an opposition. I didn't have a contestant opposition. So I called the gentlemen to give me their IDs, and they all disappeared.
Wow.
And the way I used to buy tea for them,
Yeah.
I used to
You
buy
get them
tea,
money.
bread,
Yeah.
not money necessarily,
Yeah.
but I used to buy food, like lunch, tea,
You used to
what.
treat them.
I used to treat them.
Yeah.
So they are there. I need their IDs. I need their voting cards, copies, so I can take to IEBC. So now I'm there, and I'm left all on my own. They have all deserted me. I don't know what to do, because I thought these guys had all along been standing with me. So most of them, their votes are for back countries, for the countryside. Their votes are for the countryside. Some, when they heard I was looking for them, they never came to that place, to that hotel, for like 3-4 days. They disappeared. So
That was so heartbreaking for you, right?
it was a bit heartbreaking. So I collected myself. My mom was really supporting me. My dad was supporting me. My sisters. So my brother just faced me and told me, "You don't expect me to support you." So
That is even family.
That was family.
Yeah.
So I took it gently, because I knew not everybody loves politics. So then my life now is in shambles. I've realized that not everybody is in this thing. And in church, there's a lot of tribalism back then. In fact, there are some churches that I would enter, and they would tell me blatantly, "If you are not from this tribe, we will not vote you."
Unfortunately, the church.
It was.
Yeah.
At one time, some guys wanted to rough me up. So I'm there. Things are really heated up in my life. I have decided, whatever may come, I will finish. I'm going to the ballot. I'm going to the ballot. So I went on, and I contested. That time it was a bit scary time, because by then there were cartels, or let me see, there was Mungiki.
Okay.
There were organized groups, and they were roaming the streets. So fast forward, come the election time, there was a lot of tension, and people, it seemed like we would get into civil war. And it was a very hard time for the country, and also for me. So during that time, after I vied, I failed. But now we have the different opposition candidates who are flexing their muscles. 2007. So they are there. The cartels are many. The extortionists are many. And it seemed like we would get into civil war. So by the grace of God anyway, we got over that hard time. So fast forward in my life, I became a quiet guy after that. I became a quiet guy. I didn't want to venture out in...
You even sound so quiet.
Yeah.
Your personality seems quiet. Yeah.
Thank you. So I became a quiet guy. I reserved myself. I was counting the losses, and at the same time counting and looking at who didn't support me in my venture to join politics. And I would ask I would ask myself, why are these people not understanding that if I get this councillor seat, we will expand, we will be in a good position to expand the family and grow up together financially. So my motivation was finances. I wanted to get into that seat because of finances, but at the same time, the other motivation was also to raise my community for development. So now I'm here. I've gotten out of politics. 2007 clashes have happened. People have killed each other. There's so much distraction. Then I'm there. There's a sister of mine who was in Canada. She later on passed away. So she suggested for me to cool off, I should go to Dubai. So she sent me 50,000. Then I went to Dubai. We went to Dubai with my brother and sisters. We were about 4 of us. We went to Dubai. That's why I tasted a plane for the first time, getting into an aeroplane. So we visited for a week or 2 weeks, and then we came back. So visiting Dubai was regretful for me, given I would have used that money for business. But anyway, my elders knew the better. So fast forward, life became very hard. And I'm looking for a way out. People from the place that I'm in, people knew me and I was popular because they are now calling me a councillor. And on the other hand, I didn't see their support. So I'm a heartbroken man. I'm hurting inside and nobody knows. And I was really bitter that